How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Mullen, which posted up another red day. All the levels that we were talking about yesterday and the possible outcomes is continuing to come together. As far as the downside that you saw, you should not be surprised about it. We'll talk about it in today's video, and then we're going to be talking about what the stock could potentially look like going into Friday by taking a look at certain levels. So if you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description because I value your time. So we're going to take a look at the charts, we're going to take a look at the short interest, and then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So we're going to take a look at the chart for Mullen. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 24 cents, being down 2.95%. On the low, it tested 22 cents, and then on the high, testing 24 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 56.988 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 66.009 million shares. So you can see that we did have below average volume on the day, and we've seen a pullback in the stock. When we take a look at our chart, which is our daily chart, you can see that Mullen does continue to trade below all of our major moving averages, which is the 50 EMA, the 21 EMA, and as well as the 9 EMA. We also do see a continuation of lower lows and as well as lower highs. We had resistance right at 24 cents, and if you remember, that's where we had support on the previous days. So knowing that this now has become a resistance level and Mullen got down to 22 cents is really not surprising, because like I said, it can come down to start trading at 20 cent if it continues this pattern. So will it be able to go down to 20 cent going into Friday? There is a possibility of that, so I want to make sure that you add that to your notes. If you're looking for a turnaround now, again, this 9 EMA becomes even more important. That means it needs to have a reversal to go back to at least 28 to 29 cents. 30 cents being that key level that you want to watch. There's a lot of sellers here, but if it's able to break above, that's where you want to see if it can make that test to the 21 EMA at 36 cents. But in my personal opinion, if we have a continuation of this pattern, it looks like we're going to be seeing 20 cents before we even see 30 cents on Mullen. Now let's move on to the short interest. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Mullen. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for October the 13th, you can see that we have a closed position from National Bank of Canada. We also have some changes that have happened here. We have SJS Investment Consulting Inc. with 20 shares, and we also have Newbridge Financial Services Group with 55 shares. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 46.20%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 14.62 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 27 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 5.12%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 11th, it is at 37.07, and then for the close of the 12th being at 46.20. So that is quite the increase. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 15.30%, Mullen does continue to have short squeeze potential. So for my final thoughts for Mullen when it comes to the price action, so we ended up seeing a high at 24 cents and we saw a low at 22 cents, which is not surprising whatsoever. We can see that support has now become resistance, but this has been a continuous trend since Mullen has been forming lower lows and lower highs consistently. So with that said, remember I said it can come down to 20 cents, so it's looking very likely. But for the bulls wanting to see a reversal, you want to see a strong move up, the Mullen needs to get back to at least 26 and then getting to 30 cents. Very crucial. And we know there's going to be a lot of sellers that'll be hanging out at 30 cents. So if we end up having those sellers coming in and taking control, it will come right back down, and you want to make sure you're fully aware of that. But in my personal opinion, I think that Mullen is going to go to 20 cents before it goes to 30 cents. The trend is showing us everything we need to know, and it has been spot on for as long as this stock has been dipping. It's not even testing the 9 EMA anymore. That's how far off it has been going down. But for my investors out there, like I've said, if you have high conviction, you believe in the long-term prospects, and you'll be confident about the investment, then again, you should be dollar cost averaging on this dip. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy into the play, but it's very very important you have high conviction, and if you're deciding to have a position or even add more to your position. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential, but we know that this play is also catalyst driven. We saw that there was a lot of momentum coming into the markets, and we have Mullen reacting in the way that it usually does as it continues to go down, even when the market has some pops here and there. I do understand that we are in a bear market as well, so we can't expect stocks to be moving up across the board, but I do expect that Mullen should have been able to post up a green day at some point. Maybe it might happen on Friday or even Monday, since it's been selling off for quite some time, but who knows? You have to see what the market gives you. But for all of my traders out there, if you're following the trend, you should be making some easy money on this, especially if you're shorting it and so on. So let's see how it performs going into Friday. I'll continue to keep you guys inside of the loop, and we'll be talking real soon.